Hey there, I'm Rayan.
I'm Wilf.
And I'm Ivan.
And tonight, we review The Apprentice. This is the podcast where we watch reality TV, so you don't have to. Welcome to episode 5 of It's Just a Game. You're fired. Hello and welcome to episode 5 of It's Just a Game, the podcast where we watch reality TV, so you don't have to. Joining me like every week is Wilf. Hello Wilf, how have you been?
Hello. Life's been good, man. I'm good. I'm just like doing life basically and living half of the dream.
Yeah, no, half of the dream. And as you can tell by the audio, Wilf is actually calling us from Afghanistan right now.
What's it like on the ground there, Wilf?
Also joining me tonight, you've heard him, is Ivan. Hello, Ivan. How have you been?
I've been so good. I've been up in Harrogate at Aircon playing board games with my friendly nerds, and it's been such fun. And here I am now to talk about The Apprentice, which is less fun.
Oh my God. Excuse me. Ivan, are you the guy that designed a snake bottle that looks like a bath one? You're that guy.
Yeah, no, I did. It's like it could be a child's shower gel, or it could
It's
be.
anti-venom. That's it. It's anti-venom, isn't it? That's the one.
Do you know what it made me think of? When you guys were kids, did you have the toy called Mighty Max?
Yes,
Because I
did.
had a toy called Mighty Max, and it looked like a little coiled cobra. But when you lifted up the neck and then lifted up the snake, inside was like a kind of cool, like Indiana Jones temple. And I was like, they were making the little bottle. I know we've gone ahead to episode 8 or whatever. They were making the little stupid bottle, and I was like, it's Mighty Max. And then of course everyone was like, yeah, it looks like a child's toy. And to be fair,
It looks like a water bottle. It reminded me of like you see a water bottle at school. Like that's what it reminded me. It's the worst thing ever. I don't know why they.
except it's filled with a highly corrosive green dye that will kill you.
Oh, well, okay, guys, we'll get to this. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's set the background. If you're just joining us, this podcast is all about reality games. We're here to talk about strategies, review the funniest moments, and gossip over the most iconic bits of your favorite reality TV shows. And tonight, we're taking on a classic. You can guess by the fact we're all wearing ties. We're talking about The Apprentice. As always, be warned, we're entering a spoiler zone. If you haven't seen episodes 1 to 10 of The Apprentice, go away, come back when you've done it, or don't do it. I can't really tell you what to do, and honestly, I don't give a shit. If you have seen the episodes, stay here, sit down, and get ready for a great episode.
I don't like this new heel Ryan. I think you need to just like be a bit nicer to the audience. You know, they're very nice. There are loyal fans. And you just
sit
treat
down.
them-
Okay, Daddy, sit down. And if you haven't seen the episode, you'll get spoiled.
I find that more threatening, weirdly. So I think go back to being whatever you were before.
Okay, bottom line is, watch your fucking Apprentice and shut up.
Okay. This is just so aggressive. I mean, can we just go somewhere between the two?
Could you please?
Turns out
No,
we
I
can't.
can't.
No.
I'm out. Right. Okay, guys. Like, there's probably a lot to say, but what I want to say for starters is, Ivan, Wilf, you're not regular watchers of The Apprentice. I'm addicted to that show. I have been watching it for years. I was almost on the show in 2020, so I'm a big fan. But you guys haven't seen it for a while, so what's your first take? Like, Wilf, let's start with you. The Apprentice. How have you found it this year?
So I've been on and off The Apprentice for years. So like I think I've probably watched like 5 series altogether, but it's been like big gaps between. Like my favorite, like I'll tell you so far, what I've seen, nobody can get close to Tom Skinner. I think he was the best person that's ever been on The Apprentice. I love
What a
that guy.
legend.
He's a legend.
Bosh.
But this one, at the moment, I would say it from comic value, like it's actually quite entertaining.
That's not a compliment for a business competition. Can you imagine you're having a meeting with your boss and they're like, you're having your appraisal and they're like, look, so yeah, the past year you've done like, yeah, the work, well, it delivered great comedic value. You're definitely losing your job.
Let's be clear here. This is not business. Like when I used to watch the show back in, the 90s or whenever it started, it was like, okay, you've got to, I don't know, design and sell a greetings card. And now it's like, all right, you've got to build and sell a house. You got 2 hours. Get on with it. It's like, you got to. It's ridiculous. Like it's every competition rolled into one.
You have to design the bricks you're going to use to make sure that they fit.
You've got to design a new type of brick. You have silly putty. Go. And it's like, okay, you've got to do an advert. You're also acting in it. You're starring in it. You're drawing it.
Wait. I've got it. So it's like, you've got to build a house. You've got to build the bricks. And any bricks left over, you have to sell in the street.
I was really afraid with what you were going to say, with what we're doing with these bricks unused.
And if you can't sell the bricks, you've got to eat the bricks in half an hour. And then you've got to make a special condiment to sell with the bricks to get the bricks down. And at the end of the week, one of you will be dead.
You'll be like, actually, hi guys, we're just selling this brick. As you can see, it's a really nice brick. And if you want, it's an extra £1. We'll put some cement and sprinkle it on top for you.
But like, in all seriousness, it infuriates me watching this show, and like I'm willing to talk about it for as long as this episode is, Ryan, and no longer, because the producers set it up in such a way that success is completely impossible. You know, I'm not even joking about the build a house and sell it thing, because it may as well be that. If they're in business, why the hell are they acting in a giraffe cartoon? And if they're acting in a giraffe cartoon, why are they designing skincare products from the chemical level? It makes no sense. I know, be a chef on a yacht in a storm. Why? That's not business. That's Triangle of Sadness, the Oscar-nominated movie from 2023. It makes no sense.
It's brilliant, though. I love that. It's literally just like, I can't even put it into words. It's literally like, you'd pay people to do this stuff for you. You'd pay an actor to come in and act. You would be like, hi, I'm young Peter the giraffe.
I'm in business.
I used to like it, and I think I like it for the fact is like I can do everything better than every single person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, I could do that better. So,
but I think that's the hate watch is why they make it, why it's still going on. They hire terrible candidates and give them impossible tasks, and that's all it is. And I think in the end, it's not a business documentary. You're destined to fail, and the only people you like are the ones who haven't made terrible mistakes. Like I like probably half a person in the entire show, and it's simply because I can't yet.
You know what? I'm going to ask you about who's your least favourite in a second, but in that case, who's your favourite, Ivan? Who did you like?
I liked half of Megan.
The top half or the bottom half?
No, the inside. No, the inside is.
Oh, okay.
No, not.
She doesn't swim that way, by the way, Ivan, just so you know.
Sexual insinuendos.
No, okay, fine, then. No, then the outside. I don't know. The person that the brain. Oh God. Okay, right. You know what I'm trying to say. It's really hard to like someone when they focus the entire edit of the episode on the ones who muck up all the time. There's nothing. There's no redeeming feature to anyone, because if there is, it's gone from the edit. You can just see anyone's clever idea being sucked out like a Hoover.
Is that the soul of the edit?
Yeah. But I don't understand why when somebody says something, right, it's like, they go, you've got 5 minutes now. And they're like, I don't understand where they get the 5 minutes from. And sometimes it seems so much shorter than the other people. So it's like, some people are like making this perfume for like 2 hours. And the other one's like, you got 5 minutes, go. Like,
5 minutes to design an app. It's like, apps take 3 years and many tens of thousands of pounds. Not some doofus with a paint, just like blobbing random bobs of paint to make a caterpillar that looks like a 6-year-old.
Imagine like being a person, right?
No, can't do it.
No, I got it. I couldn't be a person.
Imagine being somebody though who works for like John Lewis or something, and he's like pitched the ideas to you. You are literally. I can't think of any product that I've ever seen on The Apprentice that someone has made that I think anyone would actually buy.
But you know what? I don't think the John Lewis people are any smarter than this, because you look at episode 10 and they're doing dog food, and this girl from Waitrose, which is the same as John Lewis, this girl from Waitrose tells him, but why are you pretending a dog, like, why are you saying that it's like made for dogs, made by dogs? Are you pretending a dog made the food? You're lying to customers. No, like, Karen, for fuck's sake, do you think a dog made the food? It's advertising.
Actually, we make the dog chew it and we make it throw it up into a tin.
We look like that. I was going to say, there was actually one product, and it wasn't even the product they made. This was back in series 3 of The Apprentice, and I do think about this quite often, and it's the emergency biscuit, right? Now, they never even made it. It wasn't even... It wasn't even the winning idea on the.
So, what's the concept? It's an emergency.
Give me a second, I'll tell you. So the thing is, it wasn't even the biscuit they made. They made some stupid like half and half chocolate thing. The emergency biscuit, the idea is, it's the biscuit you've got in your pocket in a special wrapper that you get out when you're like in an emergency to have a little chomp. So it'd be like high fibre, high carbohydrate. Maybe it's also a flotation device. Blow on it, it's a whistle. I don't know. Just the emergency biscuit. And I just really like the idea of being like, oh my god, I'm stuck on a glacier. My ship's sunk. All my friends are dead. Everything's gonna be fine.
Imagine the advert. It'd be an amazing advert to make. Did they make an advert for it?
No, because they never made the product. It was the second best idea on the team, and I was like, no, emergency biscuit.
They have made an advert. I don't know if you've seen the guidance. What to do in case of an attack: run, hide, seek, emergency biscuit. So it says, if you see something, see it, say it, biscuit.
Emergency biscuit. Biscuit. See it, say it, biscuit. It's amazing. That's the best thing you've ever said, Ryan.
See it, say it.
Say it, biscuit.
Biscuit. See it, say it, biscuit. No, listen. I'm going to tell you my favourite.
Oh, sorry, Will. Actually, I hate to interrupt you, Will, but what was your favourite?
My favourite person is, from the current series, is...
Will, before that, can I interrupt you? Just ask you, who's your favourite?
Will, I would love to know. I would actually love to know your favourite.
I forgot.
Have we asked you about your favourite, by the way?
Is he the one who disappeared?
His Reese. Yeah, the guy who gets drunk.
I liked Reese. I thought he was quite intelligent, and I thought he was quite optimistic.
And he loves a good party.
Yeah, apparently. What was it you told? Who said it in the chat?
So, according to some newspapers, and it's not confirmed, he allegedly got booted off the process without any explanation. He says for medical reasons. Some production insiders say because he got shit-faced on the plane to Dubai, and as soon as it landed, producers were like, well, no, this is a BBC show. As we know, on BBC shows, there are strict limits on alcohol, and so you cannot stay in the process anymore. You're fired. So, Wilf, okay, sure, like, you like Reese, but why?
Why do I like Reese? I just think that he's, what I've seen of him so far, he's the one that has a brain. No, I thought he was quite... cool, and I thought I liked the task. You know the cartoon one, yeah? It was a terrible task and terrible videos, but he was really, really into it, and getting them to act as best as possible. And they didn't actually sound really bad. And he was the one who sort of navigated the process of the acting, which I liked. But that's his job, right? So
that's not business. That's directing. Once again, it's just like.
I mean, he's like an actor, like acting guy. He's got an acting school or something.
It's a business documentary where no one can count.
Not to spill too many secrets, but I auditioned for The Apprentice a few years ago. I was wearing this exact same tie, and I was almost on the show. I made it through every stage. And so one of the big stages of audition is they make you come up with the business plan for a pub in Slaw, of all places.
Sorry. Hang on. Oh, now. I know you are from France, Ryan, but Slaw is not a place. Give it a
I don't know how to say it. I was like, I'm just gonna casually sleep this one in. Nobody will notice.
It rhymes with cow.
In Slough.
There we go. Lovely.
So you open up. You come up with a plan to open a pub in Slough. And my audition was with Akshay, who was on last year, and he came up with the concept of opening up a shisha in Slough, of all places, and. You gotta do loads of numbers, loads of calculation and shit. For some reason, so they test that, they check that. For some reason, people that go on The Apprentice supposedly know how to add 1 and 1.
Yeah, but they forget. For some reason, they just forget all mathematics. They don't even try to work it out. They just stand there going.
Hang on. Are we forgetting the fact they don't put the best candidates on the show, right? Because the best candidate isn't funny. They put some of the craziest candidates on. Whether they're good at business or bad at business, they put the crazy ones on. This is what we know. It's just not to take away from those candidates. They are brilliant entertainment. They're not business candidates. Well, some of them are, but more than anything, more importantly, they're just completely bonkers.
Actually, I disagree with it, Ivan. Because somebody from Peterborough won, and he has a plumbing business, and his plumbing business was massive.
And did you check your pipes?
He cleaned my pipes.
And did he have sex with you?
Direct question, and did you have sex with him? Well, actually, I came in and he was. No, it doesn't matter. It's
And he came in.
Right. No, come on, Ryan. Tell us, please. Who's the public deserves to know, Ryan. Who's your favourite character on the program?
Nah, like, it's gotta be Simba. This man is just, like, funny, competent, really solid at business. He got robbed. He should have been in the final 5. And, I mean, we'll get back to the fact that candidates in this process get robbed all the time by Lord Sugar. And we'll talk about Lord Sugar, but honestly, that was the biggest robbery. He should have been in the final 5. The man was driven, smart, well, as smart as they get. Like, he was good at business, and he was great at screaming at random ladies during the
that was amazing.
immersive experience task.
The Stanford prison experiment.
No, so look, honestly, he deserves to win.
Yeah.
But I guess it takes me to the next question then. Now, who's your least favourite player? Wilf, let's start with you.
Oh, my least favourite player
Drama.
is
Gossip.
is
Drama.
is
Content.
my least
Tension.
favourite person. I can't remember his name. Is Avi?
Drama.
Avi.
Avi, oh.
Yeah, I think he's just really rude. I think sometimes, like, even when he was talking to possible clients at the time, he was like being really rude. And it was the contortionist, I think it was, or the magician, one of them. And they were like, I find it quite insulting. And then when he was outside, he's like, I don't mind about insulting people if I get what I want.
Yeah, and like he's quite funny, but sometimes the way he talks to people is like you're towing the line of being funny and you're just being straight out misogynistic. The way he talks to Rochelle in some episodes, it's like, why have you got to be like that? That is not a way to behave yourself in
and
business.
he doesn't like being told what to do either. Like when she was like, can you put a little bit less in there? He's like, no, I'm putting this amount. This is the amount I'm putting in. Do you remember?
More green.
Yeah, more green. Imagine they put more green in there.
I think they put more green. It's just a tattoo at this point. Oh.
Tattoo of a smudge. I want a tattoo of a smudge. I've got just the products.
Ivan, who's your least favourite?
My least favourite character from the series, and I don't know, it's probably not the most annoying character, but I've got 2 words for you, friends. Greg Ebbs. I have to,
controversial.
well, I know he's a meme, I know he's funny, but he's clearly a Tory.
Yeah, he's clearly a Tory.
So I hate to tell it to you guys, but actually he is a councillor, so we know which party he's registered
Okay,
with.
go on then.
And I can confirm to you he's a Lib Dem.
Okay, so he's a centrist. I mean, it's not that much better. I think. Do you know who else? Hang on. Do you know who else was a Lib Dem campaigner in their early 20s?
Go on. Oh, I know. Yeah, obviously Liz Truss.
Liz Truss, exactly. Yeah. So I mean,
okay.
it's Lib Dem is basically a gateway to being a Tory when you're too embarrassed to be a Tory as a team. Listen, no.
You're listening to Politics with Ivan on BBC Radio 5 Live. We'll be back in just a second with our interview of Boris Johnson and the letters that beat Liz Truss. See you in a bit.
I've got no reason to dislike him as a person, but the sort of person he represents made my childhood a misery. So I think I have a right to dislike him just because of that. This is so serious. Who has a really funny story about farts they want to say?
let me light my farts on fire.
Ryan, who's your least favourite character, mate?
Oh, that's tough, but I'm gonna go with Danny. Like Danny seems like a nice person. I don't hate her. She just should not be in this process at this stage. She should have gone ages ago. She's obviously like out of her depth. She does not have the business competence, and she's responsible for ganging up against my favourite, Simba, and getting him fired in the last episode, in episode 10, because she wanted to make it to the interviews, and I think she robbed Simba, so I'm quite annoyed at her.
It is, a lot of it's not about business. It is it's tactical. People will throw people under the bus. It's great to watch, but at the same time, like Ivan says, it's not very business-like, is it? Like really, it's just about who.
But when you get to the final 5, you want them to be good at business.
Yeah.
How much of business, though, is being able to argue in a boardroom? So maybe that is... I mean, yeah, we're here talking about competitive reality. The bit that's most like the traitors is actually the boardroom, despite the fact that it's all decided by one, slightly racist man with a finger.
And the shape of the table's different.
Yeah, that's true. The shape is different, and that's a big difference, to be honest.
We've talked about our favourite and least favourite players in there. But beyond the players, the biggest player in the room has got to be Lord Sugar. I know Lord Sugar's divisive, obviously. I mean, if you read his tweets, he's not the best person in the world. He's not going to get a Nobel Peace Prize anytime soon. But Ivan, what's your take on Lord Sugar? I know you may have opinions. Go on.
I do. I've got opinions. I have no interest in him at all. He has been demonstrably and ignorantly racist on Twitter plenty of times. He has been partisan when, as we know, BBC contractors should apparently not be partisan. He is. He's very. He lacks any understanding or any viewpoint that isn't his own. He believes that he is the best sort of person because of where he came from and what he's achieved, and can't see any other way of being as viable but his. I find him entirely unpleasant, and I think he is the British version of Donald Trump, and I think this is a very similar thing where he's visibly a businessman. Doesn't mean he's a good one. I don't like to watch him. I skip through him talking. I watch the tasks. I watch who goes home. I'm not interested in that man. I find him... He is the reason I don't watch this show, to be quite honest with you.
Well, what's your take on Lord Sugar?
So you know what? I don't know enough about him to create a full opinion. All I can sort of create is what I hear from other people. Does that make sense? So like, I don't follow him.
One of the many things he's done, he took a picture of the Cameroon football team during the World Cup and said, "I've seen these guys selling watches on beaches on Marbella."
No, he never. Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's fucked up, right?
I mean, was it Cameroon? I think it was Cameroon.
TV, though?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's judge him by what actually happened on the show. Do you think Lord Sugar is on the show? Because my take on this is that he has completely lost it in the past few years. His decisions are not based on business anymore. And his role, he's meant to be the arbiter of business. Even if the rest of it around him is a TV show, he should be judging people based on business. But every time, every season, you regularly see decisions and you're like, you have clearly made the wrong decision.
I'm not sure how many of his decisions are actually his decisions. I mean, I'm pretty sure the producers have a pretty decent vibe in terms of who they want to get rid of before the boardroom even starts.
I think business and TV is different, and it's changed since this show actually began. And I think Stephen Bartlett would be a better person.
Who's that?
Because I love him.
I do not like this man.
I
No.
like him a lot, man. His podcasts are really good.
I find him really fake.
Do you? I think he's a clever businessman.
I hate his podcast. It's like grind sets, motivation, BS.
But
like, ugh.
Business women, could they be considered?
They could be. The advisors, actually. Karen.
She'd be great. She should be the apprentice.
No, I feel like Karen is even more playing the game with the producers. Her comments are always widely inconsistent. Like one time they'll be going into a negotiation and then they'll be like, "Oh, hey, like you should have negotiated this like more," and then the other time they're like, "You should have negotiated this less because you're insulting them." Like you can never win with Karen, and I hate that for her, like with her. You just can't win.
Remember, they're just saying a script. That's all they're doing.
Yeah, but see, for example, Tim is a fair advisor. He fulfills that role like quite fairly.
But I think Karen,
Tim could run this.
It's attractive.
She is. And isn't that what business if we've learned anything from the last 5 of the last 3 years of The Apprentice, is that not what Lord Sugar looks for? I had an idea, and now I think about it, this is already what it is. I was going to say, why don't you get a group of people and just have the same group go on every reality show and see who wins? But actually, that's what The Apprentice is. Like week 2, I don't know, design, make, and then eat a yogurt. Like it's just eat a yogurt at the end, and then model a yogurt, and then pitch a yogurt to a man, and then the man has to spit in your face, and you have to not react. Like it's actually, forget it. That's already The Apprentice. It's just everything. Hey, do you think you've got what it takes to be all of it? If so, The Apprentice.
I don't understand where they get these decisions from as well. So, like you're sitting there around the table and then someone goes, "Oh, we're going to do it about fashion." "Yeah, I own a fashion business." And then someone goes, "I'm an accountant. I want to be PM." And then they go, "Yeah, actually, you should be PM."
It never makes sense.
It never makes sense.
When they pick the PMs.
The episode where the snake one, the really bad skin
The skin cream.
colour changer. He just went. They sat at the table. He went, I'm PM, and they're like, what are you talking about, mate? we have to talk about it.
I was gonna say, I bet in his head he was like, "This is gonna be so incisive. They're gonna love this. I'm gonna be PM, and I've got a snake idea."
The thing is, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna pick. They go, I'm gonna pick men over their 50s because they love ornaments.
They love what?
Ornaments.
They love ornaments.
Yes,
And then he designs a snake for 5 years old.
And then he said, they can put. What did he say? Yeah, people can put paper clips. Do you know what? I'm gonna buy a face cream so I can put paper clips in after.
I need to use this face cream up so fast. I've got so many paper clips. Just start slathering it on. Like, use more. I've got so many paper clips.
And that is how Shrek the movie started.
Yeah, it's so some of it is just ridiculous, man. Like some of the stuff they come up with as well. Just doesn't make sense. They always make out they know their target audience, yeah, and they make so many bad preconceptions. It's brilliant. Sorry,
Preconsumptions.
Preconceptions, yeah.
Preconceptions,
yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, then the next question then is really, what was your favorite task? Because all of them were, what the actual fuck?
My favourite task has to be the Dubai one, because they took them to Dubai, they hired 2 different groups of corporate clients, and then proceeded to try to kill them in 2 very separate ways. So half of them they took to the desert, refused to let them drink water, and let them shrivel up like raisins in the sun. The other half they took on a boat, sailed straight into a storm, and then vomited on their plates and just fed them vomit. It was honestly the best. It was the best. It was so good. It was like Triangle of Sadness. It was so perfect. I was like, this is amazing. They almost killed them. I kind of wish they had, because then it would have been a perfect episode.
Well, Wilf, what was your favourite task?
The buns. The Chinese buns, yeah? I thought, I have no idea who teaches these people. They're apparently the business people, right?
Nobody.
And they go in there and they go, yeah, so we're going to, can we have £15 per bow bun? And they're like, you can get 4 from Waitrose for £4. And they don't think to say, yeah, but these are exclusive and they're going to be personalised. They don't think any of that. They go, how about £7? But they drop half all the time. They always drop straight half, and I don't understand it.
But actually, this is the thing with every episode. They start the whole task by talking about pricing before they've even made the product. Like, what's the pricing based on? There's no bottom line. There's no 1.5 markup. It's just like, I don't know, £1 million, £10, 100,000, I don't know, 20 million. It's just like, there's nothing. They don't understand anything about anything. They're doing it in the wrong order. One person's pitching while the other person's bloody designing it at the same time. It's so weird. They do market research after finishing and confirming the product.
The market research thing kills me. They do the market research every time after.
And the best part is...
What's it going to do? It's just going to make you feel bad before you pitch. If you're not going to...
It goes back to maths as well, when the bow buns, they're like, yeah. She genuinely believed they were going to sell 400 bow buns as well. Anyway, that is ridiculous anyway. And then she goes, so where's the 400 bow buns? Oh, we only actually had time to make 120. I was like, imagine they tried to make 400 bow buns with the amount of fish they actually had. Like, it's just ridiculous, man. And they got 1 gram. They ordered 1 kilo of fish, yeah.
Yeah, you get 2 crumbs. Yeah, they just rub the fish on the bow bun. That's all you get. They take the whole fish and rub it on the bow bun.
A rub of fish. Also from that episode, just while we're here, I wrote down a quote from the great Greg Ebbs. He said at the beginning of this episode, and I quote, "All the guys have experience eating meat products in this particular field." His justification for choosing meat bow buns was that every single guy on that team had experience eating meat.
They always have the worst justifications. It's like the task is about making immersive experiences. Oh well, I was immersed in water once, so I should be PM. That was my favorite task. Oh my god, the way that's how you know how bad they are at selling. They are selling tickets to people on the street for like an immersive experience in prison, but they forget to tell them that they're gonna treat that it's an immersive experience. They just tell them it's an experience. They don't tell them they're gonna be treated like prisoners. And so you've got this poor old lady and she's just like, what if you came to get shouted at? And Simba is just like, shut up, you bitch.
Sit down! Hands on your head! I was getting a tour!
Okay, well, I guess because this is still a podcast about strategy, my last question is, if you were to go on The Apprentice, how do you strategize in this game? What strategy would you use to maximize your chances to make it to the end? And sucking Lord Sugar's dick is not an option.
Oh, damn. I was going to say that.
I think it's a combination. I think I'd be really good at the selling part of it. So I would make sure that I'm always on that like consumer front, basically. So I'd do that, but then also throw people under the bus who are clever, because that seems to work.
Befriend and betray, Will.
Ivan, the king of strategy, how do you strategize in this game?
I think what I'd probably do is quit on the first episode and go home and not be on The Apprentice. But I don't think there is strategy, really. I think because even if you say, well, my strength is in sales, you know the producers are going to whisper in your ear, you're on the yogurt team this week. You're making yogurt. How are you at flavouring yogurt? I'm terrible. You're doing the yogurt task. You know what I mean? Like you don't get to choose, unfortunately, because some little manipulator is going to push you onto the team where you're having to style a bow tie, and it's like there's no strategy really, because what they do is they make you fail, and then Lord Sir Alan decides who failed the worst, and he gets it wrong. So how do you strategize around that game? You don't.
It's hard, isn't it? And okay, I've got one for you, Ivan and Ryan.
Please.
Because if you could create a task, right, it can't be too ridiculous. One that they could actually use. What would you like it to be? What would be your creative task if you was to create one?
Okay, I got it. Here we are at the Britain's biggest dairy farm. Now, everyone knows...
They're always in an unrelated place as well.
Exactly. That cheese goes very well on bread. I want you to rebrand the humble bread. You're going to have to take a slice of bread and put a new topping on top of it and then sell it. Why am I Michael Caine? She was only 16 years old. I take this all back. I dislike my idea profusely. Ryan, you go first. I'll come back.
Nope, I'm all taking your idea. It's too late. My task would be, you know what, keep it simple. I would invite them to give me a random museum, the most random museum you can think of.
The Horniman Museum.
We are the Ornament Museum, where every year thousands of ornaments are exhibited. You know what rhymes with ornament?
Tournament.
And that is why, for this mission, you should design a new European football competition to compete with the UEFA.
Here we are on the beach, where everybody has ice cream. Nice is a word I would not use to describe dogs. So you're going to rebrand the humble dog. You must create a new breed of dog, breed it, and sell it to John Lewis.
Next thing you know, get Simba and Megan trying to force Tudor to shag to create a new breed. Wilf, what would you create? What would be your new task?
Here we are. This is my bedroom. In my bedroom, it's a place of love and passion. So what I want you to do is to create a game that will make couples be more intimate with each other. Like, I don't know why. I just want to see.
Well, to be fair, there are rumours that 2 people on the cast this year shagged in the house. So, you know, Avi and Shazia. Oops.
Oh,
just putting rumours out there.
Well, I was about to suggest we played my new recurring segment, which 2 contestants on The Apprentice are having sex, but it looks like we already have the answer to that one.
That is pure speculation, but I think it's Avi and Shazia. If you had to guess 2 people on the show shagging, who would this be? I've got another 2 potentials.
Lord Sir Alan and Greg Ebbs.
And Wilf, who's your top shagger?
The top shagger. I think it's the guy that got really drunk in Dubai and disappeared.
And
Him, and
Therese and
Rochelle. Is it Rochelle?
yeah, Rochelle. Nah, I reckon it's Megan and Simba. They had too much like chemistry in that prison task. Well, a final question to leave us with today. There are 5 people in the final 5, hence the name. Victoria, Rochelle, Megan, Marnie, and Danny. If you had to pick one to win this year's Apprentice, who would you go for? Ivan.
So for me, it's a 2-horse race. I think Megan or Marnie will win. I think Megan's more normal. I think Marnie's made more mistakes, but it's quite charismatic and has a certain air to her because of her legal background. I think one of those 2 will win. It all depends on what their business model is. Because one of them's going to come out with something really boring about NFTs and you'll be like, oh, forget it. Whereas the other one's going to have something interesting to say.
I think it's going to be Rochelle or... Who's the girl who does... Is it eyelashes or makeup?
Victoria.
Or something. I think Victoria and Rochelle. I think it'll be between them 2. Because I think Rochelle... Even though the series has had so many mistakes, what people have made, I think she's actually quite an intelligent woman. And I think she does know what she's talking about. I think that other people who don't know what they're talking about always interrupt her and take over, and it ruins it. That's my opinion so far, though. Yeah.
Well, guys, pretty good debrief of The Apprentice, pretty iconic show that I trust Ivan will never watch again.
Never.
And on that note, that concludes our review of The Apprentice UK. Now, we're going to be back next week, but we won't be talking about The Apprentice. We're going to be talking about a brand new reality show created by the makers of The Traitors, Stuart Lambert, and dropping tonight at 9 p.m. on Channel 4. It's called Rise and Fall, and it's a brand new social experiment. It's all about wealth and power and how it shapes the way we behave toward one another. And it's going to be on for the next 3 weeks on Channel 4, and we will be discussing all of this as it comes out. But until then, if you like this podcast, subscribe to the podcast, tell a friend about it, give us 5 stars, follow us on social media at itsjustagame.podcast on TikTok, on Instagram, and otherwise just send us love and we will send you love back. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Ryan. You can follow me on Instagram at the Gram of Ryan.
I am Will. You can follow me at Wilfred Webster Official on Instagram or just Wilfred Webster on TikTok.
And I'm Ivan, and you can follow me at Ivan Brett on most stuff.
And from all of us here, the tie goes off and it's goodbye. See you next week. Bye. Bye.